This is the first edition of Woodshed. Finally, we can start the series because my Woodshed came in the mail. I've been actually waiting for this backdrop for a really long time, but now that it's here, we can begin. So firstly, for this one, we're going to start with major triads. Now you might be thinking, well, why do I need to learn the major triads? And they're basically the building blocks of all harmony. Chords are built in thirds normally, okay? And it's very similar to if you go to a Major League Baseball game, they don't just start playing. They're stretching out, they're loosening up their arms, they're batting, they're taking batting practice, taking ground balls, pop flies, and so forth. Those are called fundamentals. And in order to build the house, you have to, right? You've probably heard that a bunch of times, and that's what this series is designed to help you with. It's to help you build a stronger foundation on the fundamentals so that you could build upon that and play better in every other aspect. This is in tandem with Practical Theory number 1, and if you need a refresher, go to Practical Theory number 1, and it has to do with the triads. But I'm going to show you a whole bunch of different ways that you can practice these major triads. So we're going to start with G. So that's root position, first inversion, second inversion, root position again, first inversion, and then we go backwards. Now there's no speed that you really have to play this at, except slow right now. If you try to go fast too soon, what it's going to do is make you make mistakes. It's going to cause you to make mistakes. You want to take it slow. So that's step 1. And that's only starting from the 6th string, 3rd fret. That's the root position of G. Now what happens if we start it here on B? Then you get a whole different bunch of shapes, and we can practice it going across the neck like that. So it starts with first inversion, second inversion, root, first inversion, root position, second inversion, first inversion. I got one more inversion left, and it starts on D. So it starts on the second inversion of this 6th string here. Here's the first one. Then we got the next one, which is root position. Remove our little finger, put our middle finger down there, and we get the first inversion. Then we get second inversion again. And that's step 1. So what you want to do is try these in G first, and then try to move them over in other keys. So this is just part 1 of this particular exercise. I'm gonna show you some more in a second. If you really, really want to get to know your instrument well, you have to practice this stuff. Here's the next one. So let's say we're converting these to minor. We got our root, 3rd and 5th, and to make that minor, we take the 3rd of the chord, which is B, and move it to B flat. Right? So there's your root position. There's a first inversion, second inversion, root position, first inversion. Then you do it down here, starting with the first inversion. That's B flat on the 6th string. Similar shapes, right? Similar shapes. Now we start it on second inversion D. Let me play that again because I didn't get it in the camera so well. And there you have it. Now I'm playing my arch top, so playing up here is doable. Just play up to where you're comfortable. Of course, guitars like this are not particularly comfortable once you get up to the high frets, but I don't really play up here very often anyway. So then after that, you convert it to diminished. So you got your minor triad, G, B flat, and D. and then you want to flat the D. You want to make it D flat. However, we're out of space here because we have a D natural as the open string. So why don't we just go ahead and start with second inversion here. So this was our minor chord here. This is a first inversion. B flat, D, and G. So we take the D, which is the fifth of the chord, and we move that down 1 fret. And we get that diminished chord. And from here, then we go to second inversion. That's D flat on the bottom. You can do this with any triad quality you want. If it's augmented, G, B, and D, that's your major, so to make that augmented, you bring the D, or the fifth of the chord, up a half step to D sharp. Right? Now this chord's pretty easy because it's a symmetrical shape. So like if we were to do this chord up just strings 6, 5, and 4, it would go like this. Super simple. Okay? Now let's do it going across. Oh, running into an issue already. So we go up here, root position, first inversion. The augmented ones are pretty easy because, like I said, they're a symmetrical shape. So it's going to be the same going across, and you can start the same shapes on, say, the first inversion, which is B in this case. Same shapes. Then do the same thing on D. Oops. Now I'm going to show you one extra bonus thing. Pick an individual note out of the triad, play that first, and then play the other 2 notes in the triad. So what I mean by that is, say again we have our, let's do like G minor, third inversion here. And let's say we want to pick out the roots and then play the other notes in the chord. So in this case, the G is on string 4. See that? Go to the next one, which is here. The G is still here on string 4. Then you go to the next one. The G is on the bottom. It's still on string 4, but it's on the bottom now. And then now it's on top. Now these are all movable shapes. So you can play them in any key at will if you memorize the shapes for the other key, but know where you're playing from. Know what key you're playing in. So my recommendation is not just to go, like don't just do that. Be mindful about the key that you're playing in. So like say we're in C. And there's your C. And that's all for now. Like I said, this is a series that's new, and I hope this finds you well, and I hope you learned something from it. But like and subscribe, I guarantee you're going to learn a real lot. Until next time, I'll be in the woodshed, also known as my office with a backdrop that looks like a woodshed. All right, see you next time.